Good evening, Finger Lakes Falcons. Welcome to the 2020-2021 organizational meeting, and congratulations on becoming a Finger Lakes Falcon. You'll have to excuse me as I look back and forth to my notes. If I go off the cuff, we'll be here all night. So let's get started. As some of you know, we typically have a large organizational meeting middle to the end of October before we officially kick off our fall and winter training and move into the next summer. Obviously, we're not unable to do that this year, so this video will serve as our organizational meeting, and hopefully we can get most of your questions answered without ever having to ask them. My name is Jim Russ. I am the 15U manager and have been the Falcons president for the last 4 or 5 years. I don't even really remember. 4 or 5 years. Hopefully, the way we have things set up this year, this won't be the only time you see me and hear me speak. I look forward to meeting a lot of you in the future. I've been saying this for months for anybody that has asked or I speak to without them asking. This is the best time since I've been involved to be a Falcon. We have put together a great group of coaches. We have access to phenomenal training for these kids, both off and in season. And we're really going to be able to get these kids developed the way we'd like to in a more efficient manner starting now. We've spent a lot of time with coaches and individuals within and outside of our organization setting up what we think is a fantastic system to really kickstart these kids' development, and we're really looking forward to it. Excuse me. We're currently fielding 9 teams now, the most since the Falcons started. We will have teams from 9U through 17U, and our numbers are really starting to take off. People are starting to realize locally that if you want to play travel baseball, you want to play for the Falcons. The word's out. We're the organization to be a part of. Our philosophy: we do not exist. The Falcons do not exist for coaches and individuals to make money. Okay? We don't exist for a facility to make money. We do have a facility that we finally get to call home, or as I like to call it, the nest, for the first time. However, we don't exist so that facility can earn massive amounts of revenue over the course of our travel season. The Falcons exist for the kids. We are here to provide opportunities to play baseball at a little bit higher level than your local rec leagues and things like that, but we're here to present opportunities for kids to play. And we'll field as many teams as it takes to do that. That being said, we are not a rec team, a rec organization. And by rec, I mean we're not senior little league, we're not Babe Ruth. We're not a throw-together town team that they used to be called back in the day. We are designed for kids who love to play baseball, love the game of baseball, and want to compete at a higher level and want to work at it. Not just here for the hot dogs and slushies after the games or swimming in the hotels during the tournaments. We're here to get after it, and we've done a pretty good job doing it. Let's talk about COVID. Get it out of the way. I think it took its toll on our teams last year, not in terms of illness, but with the uncertainty. We didn't have our Little League season. We didn't have our high school seasons. We were unsure when we could start, what we could do. And I think we were able to provide a pretty good experience for the kids. We played a lot of baseball games. We got a lot of baseball practices. We won a lot of baseball games, won a bunch of tournaments. So I think we did a pretty nice job considering what we were dealing with. As we move forward into the fall and into the winter, we're going to do everything we can. We're working closely with the guys down at the facility we're going to use, which I'll get into shortly, about how to keep these kids safe, everybody healthy, and follow the guidelines that we are given. While we continue to improve, and it's important that we're able to do both, so we're not completely locked out and locked in. And in terms of any COVID-related things, feel free to reach out to your coaches, your managers, and even me with any questions about that. That noise is my dog. He's annoying, and he needs to take a hike. Okay, let's get into some other things. Number one, paperwork. We typically at our organizational meeting would hand you a bunch of papers. If you are not new to this and you're returning, you know that. We'd have the organizational meeting, filling out stuff. It was endless, and it was a pile of papers at the end. We've streamlined that. All those forms, there are 5. They will be emailed to you by your team manager very soon, and they can all be done electronically. So we've moved a lot of that stuff over to the electronic versions. You can just submit them by email. They're a lot easier. Let me summarize what is in there. Number one is the medical release. Okay, that is self-explanatory. I do want to add about the medical release. This needs to be done ASAP. Okay, because we should have this on file as soon as we start practicing, which is going to be very soon. The release of liability form, run-of-the-mill, straightforward stuff. That is another one that we need back as soon as possible as we start to practice. And this should be completed prior to your son starting to practice at the facility. We have a photo release form. That one's simple. Okay, sign it if you don't mind us using photos, videos, whatever we may get on social media, the website, things like that. Don't sign it if you're not comfortable with that, okay? Player guidelines and rules. This, please go over this with your son. Just don't treat it as something you're going to sign without reading it. This is not for show. It's not fluff. These guidelines are an important foundation for ball players at any age in any organization, really. So we really want the kids to know what's in there, take it to heart, and coaches should be referring to those guidelines throughout the season. Last one is the player's contract. Again, please read this. There are things in there that we don't want any surprises later on when families didn't know they couldn't do certain things with other teams or those kind of things. So read it, be comfortable with it. I think everybody will find it fair, and get those things in as soon as possible after your coach sends them to you. Fundraising, sponsorships. Okay. We are able to keep the fees for playing for the Falcons lower than most because of our ability to fundraise and because of the generosity of sponsors we're able to find. This is becoming more challenging. We're not allowed to be outside of Jubilee or Sam's Club or Burn Dairy selling raffle tickets and things like that. So we have to get more creative this year. We have to work at it. Every team's got to work at it. Your managers will be sending out to you a sponsorship letter that you should put your son's name on top of, and then your son should deliver these sponsorship letters to businesses of your choosing. Okay, get